Okay, good evening everyone. It's your girl Destiny. I'm coming back with a video that I thought I would do. I'm just chilling tonight trying to recoup. Last couple weeks, I've been dealing with some arthritis in my leg, and it's really a pain because I have to wear a heavy duty brace and I can't get around like I used to. I'm only 39 years old, y'all, and I'm young, so that's what's going on with me presently. So anyway, I thought I'd come on this video to shed some light on a certain situation that I've been going through since back here about 10 years ago, I think. No, not 10 years ago. Well, let's say since my kids was babies. So, it's really sad when you're trying to live your life and you can't blame your mistakes on nobody but yourself. I'm getting to my points, key points. Back about, let me go back to December 2015. I left my third husband. And y'all may be like, dang girl, really? Yes. I just got out of being married for 4 years. I had known my ex for 6 months before we got married, and hell yeah, we rushed into getting married, and I'll tell you guys those reasons too. So my first husband, which is my oldest daughter Kay's dad, we got married right after she was born. I'm Christian, okay? No, y'all Christians don't live right, okay? Some of them don't, some do, but some don't. Some have a lot of issues and they try to live their life right. Things just ain't working because it's like people say God ain't real. People say being a Christian, y'all fake and phony. Being a Christian, we don't do things right. No, we don't do things right. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to fall. How you get up is how you prove yourself as a person. So, within saying that, I got pregnant with my daughter Katie when I was 18. She was a month old when I was 19, and I had graduated from high school, turning 19. Okay, so my grandmother was like, what y'all gonna do now? You guys had a baby. Hold on, it's too much echo. She's like, what are you guys gonna do now? You know, what are you going to do? You have a daughter, you guys have to do the right thing. Okay, there we go. Okay, so, I wanted to be responsible and be with her dad, point blank. This video may be long and it's gonna be lengthy, so I hope you are ready for this. I told him, I said, do you want to get married? And I think we just got married because of because of our daughter, and I have feelings for him, but to be honest with y'all, my first ex-husband was a white dude. I know, awkward moment, awkward. But I took a liking to him. The only thing he didn't, you can like somebody on a sexual level, and then you start getting serious, but love is not there, okay? And I will tell y'all that. I liked him like we was messing around. And if I didn't get pregnant by him, I would never end up marrying him, point blank. So we got married, and it was in this little chapel, and it was really weird. I mean, my mom's boyfriend walked me down the aisle, and our daughter was there, my mom was there, his parents, nobody in his family was there for him, period. His grandparents did not like black people. There you go. but he loved them. So, we got married. It was legally a legal marriage. Then a year and a half later, like, it was over, point blank. I signed divorce papers. He went into the military. He took care of our daughter. But he did, it was like, okay, I started getting stressed out because he did not want to be with me. And I thought we were going to be together, but he did not want to be with me. Like, I wasn't enough for him. Okay, and that was my downward spiral to my stages of depression, to be honest with y'all. So I was falling for the okie doke, what some people would say. Well, you fell for the okie doke, you know. Okay, so I don't know why I'm out of breath right now, but anyway. So our second marriage, I married a guy named Corey. Corey was about 5'3". But let me go back. After Katie, I got pregnant with Crystal. Katie was, Katie was 3 years old, almost 4 when I got pregnant and had Crystal. Then when Crystal was 4 to 5 months old, I got pregnant with my son. Okay, I just liked attention, and I wasn't expecting that attention. I don't walk into certain situations, but that's what it sounds like, and that's how it happened. So about the time I was on my second marriage, I had already had my son, made him number 3 kids, and I wasn't with nobody's daddy. Okay, that's just all there is to it. So I just had to face the fact, like, maybe it's just me in long-term relationships. It just doesn't work. But with my second ex, we were married 8 years, which was like a long time. But I was on my own when I had my son. I was on my own. I had my own apartment, and I was trying to make it happen for myself. I was making it happen for myself. I was back in and out of jobs, but I was still making money. I still had child support coming in, and I was getting state aid. That's just all there is to it, y'all. But I was making it happen. I was taking care of myself. I was taking care of my kids. So I met my second ex, Corey. Me and my kids were going to church, and my daughter's godmom was like, "Oh, there's this guy that I talked to you about. I talked to him about you, and he said he wants to meet you." And I was like, what? I wasn't thinking about nobody. I'm trying to be a mom and get these kids raised and, maintain Desiree. That's what I was thinking. So I was like, okay, I got that lonely feeling, and I was like, when the kids are asleep at night, it's like something was missing. Okay, I put myself out there. Yes, I did. I was like, it's time for a man, not a little boy. And he had a job. He was doing his own thing. He was maintaining. So I thought, I met him. We ended up getting together. We dated, was it a year? I don't even remember. So the kids, like, they took to him, like, real quick. And he loved kids. He already had a daughter that was 6 or 7 at the time. So when my daughter Crystal was 1 or 2 years old, she, like, took to him so quick. And he was really good with her. He was good with my kids. I had to have surgery, exploratory surgery, and we were dating like 8 months then. And he was there. He went to work. While he was at work, my mom was there. I'm pretty sure the story is I'm going where I'm going with this story. I'm getting where I'm gotta go with the story. He was always there for me. So, like, when I had to have my surgery, I couldn't get up and down and be active like I needed to be with my kids. And my kids were toddlers. So, and Katie was coming up in her age. So, he took to my kids like white on rice. I mean, like a dad roll, like bam, real quick. So, when I had to have surgery, he was cooking for me and the kids. He was making sure we had what we needed. It was on time. Bam, 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 bam. I think I was on bed rest for probably about 2 weeks. And I was able to get up and I was, doing better and everything. So I was getting better. So I started being able to maintain. And he was like, so he was doing rap, gospel rap at the time with another guy that was local in the Puget Sound area. So, okay. Excuse me. He was like they were, his Christian rap group was local and people knew them throughout the Puget Sound area. So, one day they had a competition and he won first place. And whoever won first place got Mary tickets. So he was all hyped. Me and the kids are at home. He comes home. He's like, "Big girl, guess what? And I was like, he wakes me up out of my sleep. Like he shakes me up out of my sleep. And I was like, what's going on? He's like, "Guess what?" I was like, "What's going on?" He's like, I won Mary tickets. I won first place to the Mary concert. I was like, "Oh my goodness, that is huge." That was mega big for us. So he's like, it was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and he proposes to me like right then and there in the living room. I was like, so I said yes, because I loved him and he loved me. So I said yes. So we got married. My uncle came out here, flew out here from Arizona, and he married us. And like all of my family was there, but none of his family was there, which was super weird and rude. The crazy thing about it was he took my cousin to meet his aunties, not me. I was like, excuse me? His auntie was mad. She was pissed. And he didn't invite him to the wedding or nothing. We got married in my cousin's house because it was big. And between her living room and her dining room, like, it was both open. So we had our ceremony in her living room and then our reception in between the living room and the dining room. So, I mean, it was big. We had at least like almost 50 people were there, I think it was. So it was all my friends, my mom, like a bunch of my family. So it was just crazy. So during the time we were dating, there was a couple times where when we started living together before we got married, he was living with me, and there was times when he would leave and not come back till like wee hours of the morning. And I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I was getting mad, y'all. And I was like, "What, are you cheating on me?" He was like, "No." And I was like, "Okay, then what are you doing?" So he's like, I went out and I got high. And I was like, "What, oh, you were smoking weed?" "No, he wasn't smoking weed." God, this is just so crazy and hard. I'm sorry if I start crying because it was crazy. So he told me that he was addicted to cocaine, and I still married him through that. I still married him. And when I tell y'all, the next 8 years was hell. It was hell for me. But I never lost my kids through that whole marriage. I lost Desiree, myself, through that marriage. He started taking money from me, bill money from me. I had to call my mom. I had to call my sister. I just could not understand. I could not understand what was going on. And when I tell y'all, I wanted to literally kill this nigga. I wanted to kill him because he took me through a roller coaster ride. And Y'all know that song, Vivian Green, Emotional Roller Coaster? I mean, it was pure hell. And I did not understand. Like, if I'm marrying you, you know I love you. You know I care about you. You know I want you to be better. You know, you're supposed to be helping me raise these kids. We were supposed to be working on us having more kids. I'm just like, what is really going on? So I got to the point to where I cheated on him. There was times when he would not come home for months. I would not know where he was. He was sleeping underneath bridges. I'm telling y'all right now, it got mad crazy. He would end up living with people he didn't know. He was in shelters. I had a house. No, I had an apartment. I had a 3-bedroom apartment. And he messed that up for me. I was on housing then. And on housing, it's like they have rules. They have regulations. I had to follow what my landlords were saying. I had to make sure that between my landlords and my housing that nothing was out of order. If something was out of order or something broke in my apartment, the landlord had me call ASAP. Because when you're on housing, you cannot mess it up. I was one of them tenants that you guys see on YouTube that's all messing up. No. I had 3 kids. I had to make sure that everything was on the up and up. I had to keep the apartments clean. I had to keep the windows. I had to make sure the windows were kept. But at the same time, I was doing what I had to do. But I was holding down jobs while we were married. And this nigga was taking money from me. Oh my God, y'all. I said, I cannot believe it's 8 years of this. I was always upset. So one night, there's 2 instances with him. He tried to kill me. That was one thing. Then I had to put a restraining order out on him because of that. He let his best friend stay at our apartment. And I was like, I could not believe, while he was in jail, mind me. This is another instance, he sent his best friend to the apartment to check on me. His best friend was married, and
Somebody on the phone for you. Renee's daughter.
Renee's daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, y'all, for the interruption. Okay, so his best friend was in jail at the same time he was, but his best friend got out before him. So he let his best friend come to our apartment and check on me. And it was like 10 o'clock at night. The kids were asleep. And there was a knock at the door. And I was like, I said, who is it? That's his name. I'll call him Larry. So Larry comes knocking on the door. He tells me who it is. And he's like, oh, you know me. I'm a friend of Michael. Michael. Yes. Anyway, excuse me. He said, you know me. I'm a friend of your husband's. And I was like, oh, okay, come in. Because I hadn't heard from my husband. And I was like, what's really going on? Why he sent him here? So I was like, oh, what's up? I haven't seen you in like a couple weeks or whatever, because we were all going to the same church. And he was like, oh, he's like, you know, Corey's in jail. And I was like, yeah, I know. I said, what else is new? So he's like, can I come in? And I was like, yeah. I said, come on in. So we were talking, sitting in the living room, we were talking for a minute. And okay, when you come in through my front door, there's a hallway that leads down to the bedrooms and the bathroom. And I had a master bathroom in my bedroom. But then off to the right is the living room and the kitchen. I missed that apartment, y'all. Anyway, so I let him in and go into the living room. I was like, yeah, you go to the living room and go sit down. So he comes in and he's like, He's like, how you been? And I was like, I'm fine. He said, well, he sent me over here to come check on you. He said, I just got out a couple days ago for this little situation I'm trying to get taken care of or whatever. And he said, don't worry, I ain't killing nobody real laughing or whatever. I know this guy well, so he's a pretty cool dude. But I was like, well, I said, how long are you gonna be here? I said, I'm tired or whatever. I said, I just put my kids to sleep and everything. And he was like, he said, well, can I use the bathroom? And I was like, not really thinking of what his motives were, y'all. It was like, I actually don't remember really what happened. This was so long ago. I was like, I'm going to go use the bathroom. And I said, I'll be back in a couple minutes or whatever. So I didn't go in my bedroom bathroom. I went in the hallway bathroom. No, I went in my bedroom bathroom, not in the hallway bathroom, which is what I should have did and kept my bedroom door closed. I went in my bedroom bathroom and I left my door open. And when I got in my room, it was dark. And I was like, I said, what's up? What's going on? And he's like, I looked at him, he had no shirt on. I can admit, he's a nice looking guy or whatever, but he was married at the time. And he's still married to the same lady. So I was like, why did you come over here? He's like, I wanted to come over here and check on you. And I said, check on me how? And he's like, so you're not down? And I was like, dude, you're married and so am I to 2 other people. This was before I decided to leave him and step out on him. Because after that, things just got worse. And I was like, no, I'm not. What are you talking? I said, I looked at him and I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, why are you here? He was like, Corey sent me over here. And I said, but why are you here? And I said, does your wife know where you are? He was like, she said, yeah. He said, yes, she knows where I am. I said, but this doesn't make any sense to me. So he's like, I'm going to leave. I said, yeah, I think you should do that. I said, because this is not cool what you're trying to accomplish. And if you don't leave, I said, I'm going to tell our pastor what you're trying to do with me. And he was like, oh, no, don't do that. I was like, then leave. And I said, don't come back here because I will say something. So Corey gets out of jail and I was talking to him and I was like, you know what he was trying to do? He was like, what? I said, oh, you don't know? Oh, I went off. So anyways, moving past it. So like I said, he was a gospel rap artist. I don't know if he's still doing that now, but I know back then he was. He was involved with these other group of people, which I won't name because they're relevant right now. And we went to another city in Washington that's on the other side of the mountains. And he's like, we went, it took us like 4 hours to get to this other city called Moses Lake. But I met another guy that they were rapping with, and I was like, I liked him. I ain't gonna lie. I started seeing him. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, emotionally, I was a wreck. Spiritually, I was a mess, and I made it even worse. I sure did. I take responsibility for that. I went on a more downward spiral because, like I said, it got to the point to where if I'm looking everywhere, I'm sorry, y'all, I can't focus all that well right now, but I got a lot on my mind. Excuse me. When I saw this other guy, I was, excuse me, I was really enamored of him. So, I guess he kind of could sense what I was thinking, because I just kept looking at him the whole time. And he was looking at me like that. So, I ended up really telling him what the real deal was. And I told him, I said, it's done. It's over with. I said, you can't let go of your addiction. I said, this marriage and these kids, me as your wife, I said, you don't want this. I said, it's done. You might as well just leave. So I did. That's what I did. I told him to leave. And with him being in and out of jail so much, I got tired of that. I was able to get the guy's number and we started talking. And it got to the point to where I needed, it was not about the sex, y'all. I'm telling you right now, it was not about the sex. It was like I needed to be comforted, but that's what it turned into. I'm not gonna lie about that. And at that time, the guy, I'll just call him, I'll call him P. P was my friend, and my cousin had came up here from California, and she was staying with me too, because I didn't want Corey coming to the apartment and start tripping. So my lease was up, and I told P, I was like, I have to move, and I want to move to Federal Way. So I was able to get a place like that real quick. I had to transfer my housing, and everything was done within 2 minutes. And I was like, 2 months, sorry y'all. Everything was done in 2 months, and I was out of that apartment. I was so happy. Oh my goodness. So P ended up moving with me, and P was like, I filed for a divorce, and I was like, I did too. So me and P, we didn't have no agenda. We just knew we had to be together. That was all there was to it. I saw P like 2 or 3 times before he actually left her. I'll just call her AL too, whatever. So I'll just call her Rose for right now. He left Rose. They hadn't been getting along for 10 years and stuff. Anyway, P ended up moving to where I was, and then he moved with me. I should have left Corey way before I got with P. My brain was not mentally capable of being in a relationship coming out of being married to Corey. It just took over. My brain took over. It was like I was out of my body. Like I left all. I didn't have any restraints. So I stopped going to church. I just was like, I was just like literally beat down. And I could not deal. I just could not deal anymore. I was telling people, I cannot deal with life right now. I was like, if I don't get out of Tacoma, I'm going to explode. So I left Tacoma. My mom was upset with me, but I was like, you know what? I got to do what I got to do. I survived. I survived off of, I just survived. That's all I did. I was just, like I was sailing from day to day. I was taking care of my kids. I was working. I was going to school. I was maintaining it. Okay? So, me and P, it was like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I got tired. My cousin, she was just trying to help me out a little bit, and it really didn't bother me. But then, I found out that she had chickenpox, and I was like, I have 3 kids. I don't want to do what nobody do with chickenpox, and they was little too. I was like, oh no, boo, we gotta go. So she went back to my mom's, and it ended up going out to California. So I was like, I told P, I said, you know what? I can't handle this. I said, because my ex got, well, we weren't married, we weren't divorced yet, but I had papers and I filed them twice. I put P out like 3-4 times out of my apartment. And I told him, I said, you just have to go. But like I said, we were back and forth. And I don't know what I was thinking. I'm looking back on it now, and it was just like I was so foolish because I had 3 kids, and I was like, I'm trying to make it happen for them. I'm trying to live my life and going to school and working a job, having a job, trying to take care of my cousin, making sure she ain't going crazy, trying to have a man who ain't my man. Think about it. Having a man that ain't your man. And it just got to the point where, you know what? His friends stopped talking to him because of me. He had to go back and fix it, and I was just like, go fix your stuff, dude. Just let me go. It got to the point to where over 10 years, like, we were back and forth with seeing each other over 10 years. Like, I'll call him, he'll call me. But I'm like, now, I have not talked to him in about 3 or 4 months, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And we took each other through the ringer, plain blank. So, moving forward. It was 2008 when I moved back out to where I stay at now from Federal Way. I felt like a lot of financial problems because I wasn't doing things right. I wasn't maintaining myself, which I'm looking at it now and I was like, oh, if I would have kept this going for myself out there, I would have still been there. I would have still been out there. But then it's like, everything happens for a reason, I feel like. So, then I had one instance where I do have a video on here, and I'm telling my story. So this is another story that I'm telling, but this was my story. I met this guy, and I'll just call him R, and I won't really go into that, but it didn't end bad, but I don't know, y'all, like, God is so good, because I could have ended up in jail behind that, and I'm glad I didn't. So, I had to come back out here from Federal Way, and after that situation with R, I had to go back to church. Like, I had regrets, and if I could go back and just do it all over again, like, there's so many things I would do different. I'm trying to tell y'all, there's so many things I would do different. If I had to choose a place to live where it wasn't so much destruction in my life, I would have moved to Seattle. Plain blank. But like I said, everything happens for a reason. And once I started going back to church, that was in I want to say it was in 2008. No, 2011, I think. 2010, 2011. So, once I started going back to church, I felt like I could breathe and I could live and I didn't have a lot of worries. I did not back then. So, I started going back to church, and I don't know how I got in contact with this girl, but I had a friend from middle school. I don't know how I got in contact with her. It might have been Facebook, MySpace, something. And I told her what's going on, and she was like, Desiree, you can't do this. You got to go back to church. I went back to church. So once I got back into church, I could breathe, and I could live, and I could take a breath and not feel like weight was on me, because so much stuff had been lifted off of me. I got back into being who God wanted me to be. And I'm so serious on this, y'all. I'm so serious on this. I saw Desiree different. I was going out. Before I started going back to church, I was going out. I was partying. I was kicking it. I was drunk. I was like, I didn't care. Then once I got back to church, I was like, it's time out for that. It's time out for all this. So this is where I meet my third husband. When I first met him, he was singing in the choir, and he was good. I mean, when I say he was good, he could sing real good. And he was singing in a group, and they were sounding good, y'all. They was on point. And I just looked at him. I saw him every week, or 2 times a week, because we were going to Bible study, me and the kids, and we were going to church service also twice a week. So it was like a good 5 weeks I would see him, and we got a hold of each other on Facebook. And I was like, okay. So I found out that he was 10 years younger, well, 9 to 10 years younger than me. And people call me a Kruger, and I'm just like, whatever. Whatever. So, I said, for my legs. Okay, so, he's like, I know you watched me That's what he said to me. He said, I know you be watching me. And I was like, you don't know I watch you? Mm-mm. I was watching him. He had a baby face. And every time I see him, he was always dressed up. And me, when I was going to church, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I was going to church in jeans. I had my hair wrapped up in a scarf. I would come in there in tennis shoes on. And they didn't care what I looked like. They cared that I was there. Okay? That was the best part about going back to church. So, when I would see him, it was like a breath of fresh air for me. Ooh. Excuse me, sorry. And I think I fell in love. And I was just like, this dude he was fine. He was a big dude, but you know, I like that in a man. He was taller than me. He was about 5'9", something like that. I was just like, oh. So, once we hooked up on Facebook, I accepted his friend request. He would accept mine. And I was like, he sent me a message, and I was like, okay, this is before we accept each other's friend requests. He's like, you know me? And I was like, where do I know you from? He's like, you know me from church. And I was like, seriously, I didn't know that. I didn't put two and two together. He's like, you know me from Great Christ Temple. Oops, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, anyway, whatever. He was like, you know me from that church. And I was like, I do. So he sent me a picture, and I was like, oh, okay, how you doing? So, we was just talking, and it was one day where I started liking him more, and the fact that he was singing to me, and he was doing all this stuff, like opening doors for me. We would actually go out on dates. We were having sex too. He would come pick me up. I was staying with my mom. He was staying with his mom. He had his own car, which was, was a plus. So we would go out on dates. We would go to the waterfront. We would go eat McDonald's, which I used to love back then. And he was real, y'all. I'm so serious. He was real. I loved stuff about him. I really did. I loved stuff about him. And when he sang to me, it was like, it comforted me. And it seriously, like, I had security when he was singing to me. When he would open the door for me, when he treated me like a lady, I had security. When he was coming to get me, when he was making me feel special, I saw everything in him that I needed. Not what I wanted, but what I needed. So, one day he picked me up, and he was like, you want to go to the waterfront? You want to go get McDonald's and go to the waterfront? And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So, the kids and I were, I told the kids to stay at the house. I'm going out. So, okay. So we go to McDonald's, and we go to the waterfront, and we're sitting there, and we're talking, and it was August 31st, 2011. And he was like, we both said, I guess, I don't know who said it first, but I said, well, something was said, we might as well just be together. And I was like, yeah, I said, we might as well just be together. And then, y'all, I kid you not, like, as soon as we got together, it was so challenging. He had health issues, like he has high blood pressure, he only has one kidney, he had problems with his calcium, like his body doesn't produce calcium on its own. He had been in and out, after we got together, he had been in and out of the hospital. He was on a bunch of medication. I fell in love with him even before we got together. It was like, he was a grown man, but he wasn't a grown man. He took care of me. He took care of my kids. He made sure my kids had everything basically almost everything they needed. But people at our church was telling him, or just supposedly were going around telling him that he shouldn't be involved with me because I only wanted him for money. Which was not true. Because I had money. I sure did. I had money. So when we would go out, it was like I didn't have money because I was paying bills and buying stuff for his kids. He didn't have any kids. He had money coming in, but I had kids and he didn't. So I'm taking care of them with my money and myself. So he started doing things for me. He started getting my hair done. He started getting my nails done. He started getting my eyebrows done. His mom could not stand me at all. I was older than him. I had 3 kids because I had been divorced, and she didn't like it at all. She wanted him to have kids, and during that time, we didn't have enough lovemaking to find out if I could have kids or not, because that's something you have to work on, regardless. You know, I believe in miracles, and it's like you got to work toward different things. That's just how I saw it, you know. So it's not like you can have sex one time and it can happen. Yep. Sure can. It's like, and it could happen to any woman, period. So I felt like in my heart that if we could have took one ovulation period, I think we could have conceived a baby. But I told him, I said I want to have kids, but I'm not sure what I could do, if my body can or not. So I was like, let's go to our bishop, who was alive at the time, and I said, let's go and, go talk to him and really see how we could work our faith and put in our work at the same time. That's what I believe in my heart, and I was really wanting to do that. As our marriage progressed, I'm going ahead of myself. When we got together, he moved in with me 2 months later. He left his mom's house because she didn't want him with me. She didn't want me with him, period. My family was cool with him. I'm trying to speak as long as it's getting lengthy. So my kids were okay with it, but I could see in their faces like they put on the front. And that's where it came to for a long time. We got married. January 27th of 2012. Yeah. He asked me to marry him. He gave me a purple flower and a king-size Hershey bar. And then later on took me and bought me a ring. That really wasn't nothing. He didn't spend money on a ring for me. It was like fake stuff he bought me. That should have been my first red flag, or like many of one red flags. So, his mom was there at the wedding. My mom was there. The kids, his sister, his 2 best friends, those were the only people at our wedding. Nobody at our church would marry us because they told us that we were not ready. And we were both emotionally upset. We were both crying. And people were telling us, y'all should have waited. And within saying that, if I would have known things about him if I would have known more about him and his family, some of the things that I should have known before we got married, I would have never married him. And that was my downfall. So, after we got married, we stayed with my mom. It was a year. I think it was a year into 2012. Oh no, into 2013. We moved in with his dad for 4 months. I'm not even going to go into that. And then we actually got our first house. And we stayed in our house for 2 years. And when I tell y'all, I got sick. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. It was bad. It was bad. I was sick all the time, and I did not know why. And I thought I was pregnant, and then I told him, I said, I need to go in for a physical. I said, I don't know why I'm getting sick every month like this. I said, my body, I don't know what's going on with me. He was like, yeah, I think you need to do that too. When I went in for a physical, I was almost 340 pounds. And my uncle had died in 2006, and he was diabetic as well. And that's what I was scared about, because he was always telling me, niece, watch what you eat. And I wasn't even thinking. I was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. So Michael is he's a chef, and he knows how to cook really good. He went to the Cordon Bleu for training, and his cooking skills just was enhanced. So he also worked for a nursing home, and he cooked for diabetics. So that was a plus. I had lost, now I'm down to 310, I'm pretty sure. I had lost a lot of weight. As y'all can see, I'm still a chunky woman, still. And I'm right now going through depression, seriously. Okay, so we move forward. I got to the point to where I didn't trust him. And I say that because Michael did a lot. He ran through so many people of our church with our problems. Everything that went on in our marriage, his mother and his sister knew. And to this day, people are still knowing things. It's just crazy. I left him because I don't trust him. I left him because I don't trust him with my children. I left him because I don't trust him being my husband. And that was 2 years of not trusting him. I didn't do enough of taking care of myself to fully see what my mistakes were. Because my mistake was actually staying with him after a year of us being married. That was my mistake. With me being diabetic, I'm at the doctor's office I think it's every other month, and if it's sooner than that if I'm having problems. So I started on metformin 500 milligrams. They went up from 1 a day to 2 a day. Now it's at 4 a day. I don't take 4 a day. Sometimes I take 4 a day, or sometimes I'm just taking 2 a day. So, so I'm sorry, I'm moving around while I'm just sitting on this bench. I'm uncomfortable. I was trying to take care of myself. I was trying to take care of him, take care of my kids. Sorry. And trying to have a job on top of that, and bring more money into our family so we could be able to live right. It became more and more and more of a constant battle. I was experiencing a lot of back pain. I wasn't sleeping enough. I was eating all this food. He would bake a lot of sweets, but he would cook fatty foods. Before I found out I was diabetic, I just mentally and emotionally and physically, I couldn't handle it anymore. I couldn't handle him being in the hospital for sometimes it got to the point where it was weeks at a time, and it was taking a toll on me, and it would make me sick. I would start getting colds. Because you guys know, in the hospitals are cold, and they're not heated, of course. So you got to come in there like you dress for the winter time. So, okay. I started seeing somebody else. It was a guy that I was involved with some years ago. And the thing about it is, if I would have never married Michael, I would have been married to this other guy. And I'm so hurt behind my mistake, because this other guy, like, he's everything that I ever wanted. Like, well, at that time of seeing him, no guy could come and match up to him when it came to him and I being together. Y'all, when I tell y'all that was the biggest mistake of my life, it was. So, I started seeing him. I'll just call him Sky for right now. And no, it's not Sky Santana either, y'all. It's not. It's another guy named Sky. So, Sky is my best friend. I would say he's my boo thing, my lover. Yes. So, I couldn't let go of Sky because I still have feelings for him. I still have feelings for him today, but I'm sort of seeing somebody else right now. So, anyway, what I was supposed to see today was 9 o'clock, and it's not going to happen. Maybe, but anyway. So, on top of that, okay, with Michael, who's telling me his name because this is who the story is about. Everything that went on in our marriage was broadcasted. Everything. It even took a toll on my kids. My son had an issue at school. I'm not even going to go into that because I don't want everybody knowing it. To this day, people in my family still, some people in my family don't know, and I don't want them to know. I don't ever want them to know. But people in his family knew. People at our church knew. It just got crazy. Y'all, we barely had a husband and wife relationship. It was more like, I'm in this house with him, I'm sleeping in the same room with him, I'm paying rent, I'm buying groceries every month. We would go to church every Sunday. He had to go into dialysis because he started getting renal failure. Even got to the point to where we were on divorce court. We flew to LA to be on divorce court. And that was even crazy. Like, people were telling me that I was wrong, that I used him, that I should have never, of course I know I should have never married him. No, I did not use him. He told me if I left him, he would try to take custody of my kids. I was like, dude, come on. Are you serious right now? What judge is going to give you my children? Are you serious? You're sicker than I am. I'm not deathly ill like you are. I don't think so. I didn't leave him then because, to be honest with y'all, I did not want to take my kids and come back to my mom's house. I didn't want to do that. That's why I stayed. I put up with junk I didn't have to put up with. It happened. So, December 2015, it came to a serious halt. When I put my hand up like this, and I put my hand up like this is when I had enough. When both my hands was up. And I said, it's time to go. So, back in November, I went to my pastor, and I told him a lot. And I told him, I said, I'm leaving him. I said, I can't continue on this spiral where I'm going through counseling and he feels he doesn't need any. And he won't fess up to the problems we have. And he said, okay. I did tell him what was going on, what things I was doing, how often. I wasn't with nobody in our church though, which was a good thing. So I didn't want nobody else getting in trouble. Anyway. So I called my mom and I said, if you don't get me out this house, I said, I'm going to jail. I was very close to going to jail. And that's the God's honest truth. So I left. I took my kids. I said, I'm out of here. I'm gone. His best friend's son was spending the week with us, and I called his best friend and I said, you have to come get your son. I said, I'm taking these kids out of here and I'm moving out right now. Yeah, I need you to come get your son because this is not cool right now. It was 4 days after Christmas, y'all, and it was like, I remember I had a kidney and a UTI infection all together. I was in pain. I was hurting. I didn't know why I had a kidney infection. I don't even know why I had a UTI. And I was in pain. And I was like, I have to get out of here. Because if I don't, and it's like, you can tell when somebody doesn't even want to even be around you. You can tell when it's like, what's the point of trying to perpetrate or trying to put on a front when it's just like, what the hell is going on? If you commit your life to somebody, it's like you're supposed to protect that person. You're supposed to make that person feel secure in your relationship. I don't care what kind of relationship you have. You're supposed to have some security. Everybody is not supposed to know your business. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your status is in life. I don't care where you are in your life. If you have a relationship going on, it ain't the world's business. Oh no, boo-boo. My business was broadcasted. It was broadcasted on divorce court, and it was broadcasted through our church. I got tired of people of people being like, Desiree, what's going on? And I was like, I said, your guess is as good as mine, because I don't know. I didn't marry for all of this. I didn't marry for people looking like I'm crazy because I decided to marry somebody who don't got it together. I was blamed for stuff going wrong in our marriage 24/7, and I was done dealing. Done. I was like, yep, that's it. I'm out. No more. I don't care. So, it took 6 months for our divorce to be final. No, wait. I filed in February. Yeah, I filed in February, and June 2016 when everything was finalized. Yeah, you have to wait 4 months. Just in case somebody wants to change their mind. Which I thought I would. I thought I wanted to. Because a part of me was like, you know what? Cut it all out. And go back and fix it. And see how you fix it. But then it was like, I'm just finding out all this stuff about him. I was like, this dude was getting drunk off his behind. And he was smoking weed. And he was smoking cigarettes. I had the audacity to tell me I was in the way of him partying while we were married. And I told him, I said, if you want to go out and go get buck wild crazy with your friends, go. I'm not in your way. I told him this like a dozen times while we were married. Because trust and believe, if one of my friends called me, hey, Desiree, you want to go hang out? All y'all got to do is come pick me up. Because if you don't have friends outside of your marriage, friends are not going to be the right friends. You have to have some you time. Then you come home and you come be with your family. That's how it was supposed to be. But I'm like, aren't you going to go kick it with your friends? Not your family, but your friends. That's how you got to do it. And that never happened. He would tell me he was going to do it, but it never happened. So, I was like, whatever. I mean, it was just problems after problems. It was like a circle of problems every time. He had a problem with the kids doing certain things. He had a problem with me doing certain things. But we never came together and had an understanding. I'm sorry, y'all. I got so much issue. Anyway, so we got the divorce papers together, baby. That was it. The only thing that is in holding me to him is the last name, and that's it. That's it. That's the only thing. Legally, it's over. It's a wrap. I come on here to do this because, like, I want to be married, right? But everyone I've had, it's like, They were wrong. All of my marriages were wrong. So I miss that feeling like, oh, I'm about to go home to my boo. I'm about to go home to my baby. And I want to say that. Like, I don't want to have to go home like, oh, I don't even want to go in the house. But that's where I live. That's where I lay my head. That's where my clothes are. That's where my kids have to lay their head at night. That's what I had to do. Like, I knew good and well I didn't want to be there. But where else was I supposed to go? That's what I said to myself. Being divorced is so difficult. Like, or being in a marriage, no, not being divorced. Well, yes, but being in a marriage where you feel like you don't belong, where you always have to fight, kick and scream to get attention, that shouldn't even be questioned. You shouldn't have to tell your husband, hey, come kiss me before you go to work. Can I get a kiss before you leave? I need the intimacy, baby. There's nothing wrong with it. But my friends, I have guy friends who will be calling me on the phone like, what's up, baby girl? I'm like, man, a mess. My friends were like, what's going on now? I would tell them, oh, I know that Negro didn't. I got a guy friend right now who I confided in him and he confided in me, and which I have known him for a very long time. I went down to Florida to go see him. We were together for 3 days kicking it. But at the same time, it's like, dude, like, my friends gave me more attention than he did. Those guys are not my husband. You are. You're supposed to be loving me and loving on me. Because if you don't love on me, I know I got a lot going on all up in this body. But when you loving on me and you making me feel like I'm all good and I'm a woman, baby, I will give you the same thing back. And all you gotta do is say, come here and give me you. And I'm gonna give you all of me. I'm gonna give you what I can give you. But don't down me. Don't talk about me. Don't make me feel like I'm less than zero just to make yourself look good. Because people gonna be wondering, like, why are you talking about her? Why she do this to you? Why couldn't y'all get along? Why she leave you? Why she cheat on you? They're not asking. They're asking you why she did what she did. And that makes you look like boo-boo the fool, because you be like, dude, I didn't do anything wrong. Obviously you did. Because if you didn't, we would have still been together. If the kids was cool, we would have still been together. If we was all good, baby, I wouldn't have been going the federal way. Trust and believe. If we was all good, we would still have the apartment. We would still be married. Celebrating the 4th anniversary. But anyways, being divorced, it sucks. It sucks. Big time. It's like, you can't win for losing. It's like, what you do ain't good enough. You causing this problem, you causing that problem. If you work with me, it's called teamwork. It's teamwork. Teamworking it. You teamworking the kids, you teamworking the bills, you teamworking the household, you teamworking the transportation, you teamworking your other family. Get it together. Marriages are seriously important, but they're seriously in trouble right now. So I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not a bad person. I'm not. But I know it's going to happen for me. And when it happens this next time, it's going to be the real deal. Trust me. And if I got to move for it to happen, that's going to happen too. So I just want to come on here and tell y'all what I've been dealing with. I'm not male bashing. I'm not going to do that. I don't have any ill feelings toward any of them. I really don't. And I pray the best for all of them. Even my baby daddies. Okay? But I hope I help somebody. I'm still living. I'm still walking on my 2 feet, even though I have a brace on a brace on my leg because of arthritis. I'm still getting up every morning, facing the day. I'm going through depression right now. I have to go through counseling because I'm good, but I'm not good. I'm in the middle. So, anybody know how to pray? Pray for me. I hope I help somebody with this video. I hope what I said can, even if you're a guy and you watch what I said, or you're watching this video, understand that there's every woman you come across, they're going to have every woman you come across. Don't look at them and think the worst. And if anybody that I know watch this video, whether you a friend of mine from way years back, or you go to my church, or my churches, basically, I am not a bad person. I'm not. I've been faced with so many challenges in my life that I struggle with decisions. I know I'm grown. I know I'm supposed to take care of my business. I know I'm supposed to handle my business. I know this. And it's a little difficult. I'm not placing blame, the full blame, on anybody, because there's always two sides to every story. Always. I'm not even blaming all issues on Michael either. And it's like, if by some chance he would ever come back to me and say, Desiree, you know what? Maybe I can't do life without you right now. I would really look at him and I would tell him, I would have sympathy in my heart and love too, and forgiveness, because that's just what I believe. If you feel like, if he came to me and be like, I love you, that's just all there is to it. I'm sorry for the things I did and said that weren't right. Let's fix it. Let's make it better. I would probably reconsider. I really would. Because then that's him taking ownership of everything. That's him being like, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you real. I'm going to come to you real. And that's what I would want. It's on him. I wouldn't say no. But at the same time, if I was with somebody, I'm like, I still care for you. I still have some love for you. But we can be friends. But anything else, But work with somebody that you really love and care about. Don't throw them away. Don't make them feel less than a person because you guys are having problems. Work through those problems and try to maintain. If you have kids or you don't, make it happen. I'm so serious. Because seriously, like, at times I feel like I'm just non and void. Seriously. And that's a bad feeling. That's a really bad feeling. So, like I said, I hope I help someone with this video, man or woman. Because divorce is no joke. Marriage is a serious thing. Don't take it for granted. If you feel like you gotta cheat to get love, you need to leave. That's what I should have did. I should have left him a long time ago. So, but don't cheat on your spouse. And I'll tell you guys right now, from experience, leave them first. Because I was on Pinterest and there was a lot of quotes on Pinterest, and it said that cheating is not an option. It's a cowardly way out. And that's what I did. I cowered out. So I think the only reason why I stayed married to him for so long was because of my living situation. That was the only reason. I didn't leave him because if I didn't have my kids, I would not have stayed with him as long as I did. So I did it because I didn't want my kids to end up somewhere where we shouldn't have been, or somewhere where I didn't want them, or back with family. So, alright. Well, I will talk to y'all later. Like I said, I hope I benefited somebody with this video, and